Hey, it's Norm from test.com, and I'm here with a great friend, Jeremy Williams. We worked at PC Gamer, and you were our first podcast producer on podcast before anyone else on podcast, and now you're on the Oculus Rift, early adopter for life.
Yep.
So you're like order number 100?
My order number was 109. But after the last E3, when Carmack, gave all this buzz to the Oculus, I just started following the forums and I jumped on the Kickstarter as fast as I could. I couldn't wait.
Amazing. So let's open it up because you have yours. Ours is still in the mail. And let's show people quickly not only what you get in the box, but how it connects to your computer.
Yeah.
So it's the goggles, the Oculus Rift right here, which we've seen before. It was at GDC, CES, and a lot of people don't know that's tethered to this breakout box.
Permanently, yeah.
Yes, and the inputs you get are either DVI or HDMI.
Yep.
It can take either. No limitations, just video, no audio.
Right.
And the resolution is 1280 by 800.
That's right.
Because that's the panel of the screen. It can take in a higher resolution.
That's what's cool is that this can actually take the anything up to, I use 1920 by 1200, anything that's 16 by 10, it works fine. So you can mirror, this is one monitor and your primary monitor is another one. So if you have a 24-inch monitor, it's 1900 by 1200, it'll mirror to this just fine, and this little box will down-res it to the native res of the Oculus.
Right. So on your computer monitor, you can at least develop in full resolution.
And you can actually read text.
Yeah, exactly. That's very important. In addition to that, there's a power cable and a data cable, so you need mini USB, and that's where the sensor information is sent back to your computer.
Right. So this has 3 sensors in it, and all of them travel over USB to the computer. And if you don't have that USB cable plugged in, it gives you an error. It says sensor not plugged in.
Okay, and then we've got to talk about the lenses, because there's a lot of talk about interchangeable lenses. There's A cup, B cup, or C cup.
Right.
And they are just right here. How easy is that to change in now?
Well, it's not terribly easy. I mean, it's super easy, but they don't come out very easily. You have to twist the lenses and pull them out. And then, I don't know if you can get a close-up on that, but you can actually see the screen right inside there, which, with the lens out, it's a 2-dimensional panel. If you had a video image on there, you'd be able to resolve it perfectly.
It's a 7-inch, 1280 by 800 screen, and it's shiny. It's not a matte panel. It's a reflective panel.
Yeah, but it takes a little bit of muscle to unscrew those.
So if you don't wear glasses, you can use just the A-series lenses. And there's another fine bit of adjustment you can do is for both sides. You can move the distance of the screen from the lens, and that is just with a flathead screwdriver. So you can see right here.
But in all of our cases, we've all tried it. We all wanted it closest to the lens, even with glasses on.
Right. But if you just move it, you can actually see the panel moving physically away from the lens. Back and forth, and you can do this on both sides, right?
Yep.
You can, and that same thing moves it back and forth.
One thing I found cool was that the whole unit is powered by 5 volts. So it gets 5 volts over USB, but I don't know if it uses the power for that. But the power adapter that comes with is just a 1.5 amp 5 volt adapter as well. Oh. So they're doing the sensors and the screen itself with just 5 volts.
Wow, and make sure there's a power button on here. You can also adjust brightness and contrast. Did you find yourself tuning that at all?
I'd never touched it.
Okay, no. Just that power button.
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to turn on the power button as well, put this on, and play some games.
I'm ready to put these things on and get in a game.
All right.
Can we go?
Yeah, we can totally go. So you're going to drive, and you're putting on the VR goggles with your glasses on.
Yeah, so we tried the different cups. The Oculus comes with 3 cups. We've talked about this before. There's an A cup, a B cup, a C cup.
These are cups.
Yeah, they're basically they're little lenses that go in here and sit between your eyeballs and the screen. And they offer different levels of correction. So A is for people with good vision, like Jeremy.
Thank you.
B is for people like probably Norm, who have
decent
intermediate vision. And then C is theoretically for people like me who have really bad vision. But unfortunately, my vision is bad enough that this is too bad.
Lens correction with your glasses, your prescription is a -7.
Yeah, so for contacts it's -7, for glasses it's -8, which is pretty normal because you have a different correction factor.
And even with the C cups and the Rift pushed as close to your eyeballs as possible, it still isn't good enough, so that's why you're wearing glasses.
I'm wearing the glasses. We've been using this a little bit while we set up for this shot. It's pretty comfortable with the glasses on even. The only challenging part is getting the glasses through the narrow gap in the frame because my glasses are a little wide.
It's a cool concept though, because you can imagine with the commercial version that you'll be able to buy whatever cup you need.
I would hope that I'd be able to go to my optician and say, hey, I need a crazy lens.
Yeah.
Please make this happen.
But while the Oculus guys will release different cups, they won't associate those with a prescription.
Yeah.
They won't say if you're a certain prescription, you have to rely on a community to give feedback for that.
Yep.
So Will's going to put it on, and we're going to load up TF2. With the developer showcase, people getting the Oculus Rift developer kit will be able to play a Hawken, which is a free-to-play mech game, which we tried out at GDC last week, and Team Fortress 2 from Valve. Unfortunately, right now, Hawken does not have the software to support Oculus Rift.
Right.
So with TF2, all the software is there, and to load it up, all we need to do was add the command line.
Head tracking is working. Everything is staying directly in front of me no matter what I do.
And it was just -VR in the command line just to enable the virtual reality mode.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're in TF2, and we should also note that the goggles are at 1280 by 800 resolution, and so your desktop has to also be at that resolution when you load it up.
At least for TF2.
Yeah. So,
yeah. And just to be clear, I'm sure a lot of people who follow this product know that, but that is split between both eyes.
Yeah.
So it's a vertical split.
You only get 640 by 800 in each eye.
Right, but it's compounded because it's stereoscopic.
Yep.
So they're showing slightly different images in each. So Will, you're in the game right now, and there are several modes of control in TF2. I think 8 total, and you can change this in the command line. Will, I'm going to bring down the command line for just a second.
How did I get so fat?
Wow, you can definitely see your belly. So you can change your using the command line here. And what's interesting is that this menu for TF2 doesn't take up the full screen. It's taking up just the center of your vision, because that's where your focus is going to be.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that until you said that.
Blown up to the sides, then you wouldn't be able to see the command line or anything else.
It would be in your peripheral.
Well, that's always one of those problems if you've ever used the multiple the multiple monitor stuff. So sometimes the UI for the game will be spread out across 3 monitors. It's really hard to see. So they actually fixed that here.
And the same thing with the HUD, the floating HUD right now. And that's something you can adjust. It's in the center of the screen, so you don't need to look to the side just to see how much ammo or health you have. And that can actually be adjusted. Right now, the default is set so that it looks like it's about 500 inches from your face, and you can adjust that as close as far as you want.
So the way this works, so for people who, I don't know how well you can tell from the video that we're showing, but the way this works is right now I'm just going to move the mouse, and there's a bounding box on either side, but there's this center area where I have free movement without really any head movement. Now, if I move my head, it's moving independently of the mouse. I don't know which mode we're in right now, Norm.
I think that the default is 3, but I also want to talk about calibration.
Okay.
Just to start.
Oh yeah, we should do that first.
In Team Fortress 2, there's a built-in calibration mode. Do you want to start that right now and just to see what it looks like?
The sparks are flying right at me.
It's 3D.
Jeremy pointed this out, and it's pretty awesome.
Particles are successful.
The particles, it looks like there's a fountain of particles in front of me, which you guys probably can't see because you're only seeing one half.
So I'm going to load up VR underscore.
I put a D in front of there because I was still going forward.
VR underscore calibration.
Okay, so this will set my inner pupillary distance, right?
And this is the distance between your 2 eyes, which you can get from any optometrist.
Let me help you out here, Will. You probably want to close your right eye because the green line is only in your left side. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So close your right eye and look directly at the green line.
Okay.
And then hit that right button until it goes almost off screen.
Okay, so you do this for like 8 lines, right?
Yeah.
4 for each eye.
But the trick is you don't want to look straight and use your peripheral vision. You want to look straight at the line.
So should I be looking at that white line or the green line?
The green line, and then when it's almost off, you're done. Then hit next.
So go until it's off and then come back a couple?
Sure. Yeah. But
okay.
If you look straight ahead, you'll be able to see it go further, and that would be a problem.
Oh yeah, sure enough. Okay, so this is the same thing as that thing that when you go to the optometrist, then the optician rather, they hold up that thing that looks like a ViewMaster, and you look at a little house, and then the house tells them, they tell you focus on the house or the tractor, and then they say,
do you see Clifford the Big Red Dog?
You're 172 millimeters or whatever the factor should be. Okay, so then the up and down is less important, right?
That's right, but yeah.
Staring at that green line as hard as I ever have.
So what in-game does this change once the calibration is done?
I don't know. I think it might be the position maybe of the 2 projections, as well as the extent to which they, go out. But maybe it would be fun to do a comparison of before and after screenshot.
So
what they say
changing? Yeah. Well.
What it said was that this changes the render points. So this lets them set the render points accurately, which supposedly helps reduce nausea.
What's a render point?
The camera positions for the game. My interpupillary distance is...
Oh, I see. So how far apart the 2 cameras are they?
And relative position, yeah.
Because Team Fortress 2, when you're playing something like the Heavy, it's the position of the character's eyes should match your eyes.
Yes.
And so this is for the 3D, mostly, the 3D effect.
I think so, yes.
This is the only app, Oculus hasn't released a way to do this with their
with their demos, but they want to create a standardized way to get this setting that would apply to all games.
And that's something you could theoretically run in the desktop.
Yeah, probably be stored in the registry or something like that.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
So the reason it's 1280 by 800 is just because of the limitation of the screen, of the Oculus screen,
right,
in the dev kit mode, in which we hope later on they might have a higher resolution screen.
Yeah.
That limitation isn't in Unity though.
Right.
So when you run something you're developing a game, you can run that at basically any resolution.
Well, yeah, you can run it. Right now, what we're doing is we're mirroring the video output to the recorder and to the Oculus, and so we're running at 1280 by 800 because we're inside of TF2. But if we were running inside of Unity, you could actually mirror the outputs to both at anything that's 16 by 10. So you could output 1280 by or 1920 by 1200, and you'd be able to develop using that, and the Unity would down-res it to the
and that's just that box.
1280 by 800, yeah.
The early days, right?
Everything about this is very early days.
Okay, so I just hit next. My interpupillary distance is 65.3 millimeters. Good to know. Do I close now?
Do you know what your
I meant to call my optician and see, but I did not. I need to go pick up new lenses for him.
So it'd be fun to see a comparison screenshot, see what it did. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So the 3D effect is much more pronounced now. Can I get in the game? Why am I not in the? Oh, can you hit the period button, Norm? So the first thing to mention is that it's really hard to tell where you are at any given, like where the keys are. Even I'm a pretty good touch typist.
Yeah.
This is a bad keyboard for this because it's one of the Mac keyboards. They don't have good home buttons.
Yeah, you'll notice all the early Oculus demos that they did all used a gamepad.
Right.
Yes, I understand why. I should go to the red team so I can run around. Let's do.
Yeah, so we've calibrated now, and now we want to really show off the different control schemes. Again, that's all changed in the command line, and I'm gonna load that up right now, so I can type in that. The command is just VR_move aim _mode, and we'll start with 0.
Oh, you need a space. Nope. That's back 2 more. Now a space. Now a 0. There you go.
It's impossible to read that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see both on my end and on Norm's. Okay, so this is mode 0. I'm moving my head now, so I'm moving up and down, and it seems like both my head and the mouse move. This is actually like at first impression, this feels pretty normal. I can't. So I go like right now. I'm pressing forward on the mouse, so I'm going whichever way I walk. This kind of reminds me of the old Looney Boy Quake 2 config where you'd use a trackpad.
It basically turns the head tracker into a mouse.
Yeah, and also the mouse is a mouse.
Yeah.
So this is like the exhibit mouse setup. Okay, let's go to 1.
All right.
I
so
feel like this is not a viable
ideal.
long-term way to play. Maybe if you're snipering.
All right.
Oh wow. Okay, so now my HUD seems to be slave to the mouse. I got up and down on the.
I really like how the HUD is set, is fixed. Yeah.
This way, so I can steer with the head. This is kind of like being an Apache pilot. This is pretty awesome.
So you always shoot at where you're looking.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the home keys.
But you can run a different direction.
Oh, that's weird.
Hold on.
So it's as if the gun is attached to your head.
Yeah.
A head-mounted gun.
Yeah, like an Apache, like Bill said.
Right.
You've flown an Apache.
Yeah, of course.
We've all flown.
Of course.
Remember when helicopter sims were a PC staple?
So
those are the good old days. Okay, so I can look up and down. The HUD is just floating in front of my mouse, and I'm not doing any aiming with the mouse. I wish I had somebody here to shoot at. Do you know how to spawn bots, Norm?
Not in this mode. You have to go to
we're on a
training
server
mode,
anyway, so.
So I'm going to load up the second mode.
Okay.
2.
We should get on Twitter and have some people join the server. Okay, so my head is locked to the HUD, and like it's kind of dragging the mouse cursor. Like I'm not touching the mouse right now,
and you're
but
still
my aim cursor is aiming. Like this feels almost like Arma, where there's kind of a bounding box.
Right.
So that's all mouse movement there. That's head movement, but see how the cursor. Can you guys see the cursor?
Yeah.
It gets drug along with me when I turn my head.
Right. So you look where you want to shoot, and then you refine with the mouse within that keyhole. Is that the idea?
I can kind of see this being a useful thing.
What happens if you don't move your head and just move your mouse outside the keyhole?
Then it pans.
Drag.
Yeah, or up and down too. The thing that's amazing about this is I have an incredibly high. I feel like I have much more vertical resolution than I normally do in this game.
Really?
Like it feels like the floor, like bottom of my field of vision to top of my field of vision is enormous. And I guess it's part of the 3D goggle effect, but it's pretty impressive. I'm also noticing in a way that I didn't before that it feels like there's like something, there's a crop on my field of vision. It's not like I'm looking at a screen, but it's like I'm looking down a very short tube. Not in a negative way. Okay, so right, I can see this being playable. This is 3?
This is 2.
This is 2. Oh, wow, we haven't gone very far.
Now 3, and this I believe is the default.
So this is like the last one, except for there's no keyhole.
So when you move your mouse around, it won't actually drag it won't actually turn.
Okay, so there's dudes coming down that tunnel right there. I can shoot at them. Look over here. Oh, no spies behind me. Still shooting over there. I'm out of ammo, but
there's a little keyhole because you can still move your mouse around that area.
That's true. You can do some. Well, it seems like I'm all mouse. It seems like I'm all mouse now, but I do like the ability to no look.
When
shoot.
you hold down the fire button, then it won't actually shift your.
This is a heavy move, not a. I can see this being much more useful for like spy or scout or something like that.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to try scout or soldier in a little bit.
Yeah.
So how about let me move to 4?
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I feel like this is a high skill mode.
All right.
Okay, so that's moving my head. I can look up and down with my head. How did I get so fat?
And something to point out is that we just saw you lean forward.
Yeah.
And there is no Z-axis sensor in the development.
I mean, there's a little. I don't know if there's a sensor, but like I'm leaning forward and back when I do this.
Yeah.
Is it more that it's rotating?
I'm pretty sure that's. Look, I'm going to shoot my own foot. I can't do that. But
I think that might be a rotation, like Norm said.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
The SDK includes no support for any kind of translation where you're moving through space. Only rotations.
So it's as if the Oculus Rift is moving around a ball where your eyes are.
Yeah.
But not moving forward, backward, or panning left and right or up and down.
And that's something that constantly gets brought up in interviews, and they want to work on that for the commercial version.
Right.
So this is number 4. This is kind of like the. So this one I can move my head freely. It doesn't drag the motion. What does that say? Can anybody see?
Oh, we can't read that at all.
All right. I don't know what it says.
Do you want to drop 5?
Do you like this one, Will?
Yeah, this one's okay. So what I was going to say is this is like number 2, I think, except for instead of dragging the cursor with me, I can aim freely, and there's a little bit of a keyhole in the mouse. So I am getting that's me moving the mouse.
Yeah.
That's me moving my head, which is like this. This would be a pretty soft landing, I think, for somebody who's played a lot of TF2.
Right. Or maybe a slow-paced game where you're sniping or something, or you want to have precision aiming with the mouse, but still be able to look around and do that without changing. I'm curious
if I'd have better precision with the mouse than I would with my head.
I wonder how they handle the sniper.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out in a second. We'll change classes, but where I pick your favorite. Let's try 5.
Okay, now we're getting into experimentals, right?
Yep. So 5, 6, and 7 are the experimental modes.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is my mouse. Nope. Okay, so the cursor has nothing to do with where I'm shooting, because look, I'm shooting over there.
The reticule may as well not be there.
Yeah, the reticule's a trap in this point. It's like a point of reference. Oh, look, pew, pew, pew. I do not like this one at all. I feel wait, hold on.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, so you can do a Linda Blair thing, right? Where you're
where's my pea
Look at your
soup?
shadow.
Wow. Why didn't nobody tell me my ass was this big? Sorry,
I was
workshopping. Whoa!
You are inside.
Okay, now I'm pressing forward.
Yeah, going back.
And wow, this is really weird. Okay, this is experimental for a reason. Hey, we won!
Congratulations,
Red Team.
I'm going to give you 6.
Okay.
And we'll load
it's time to 6 me up.
Everybody wins with the Oculus Rift.
Oh, I'm just shooting my gun into the air because I have no idea. Oh, wait, there's my cursor. Oh, so this is kind of like that well, we've got to get back in the game, but teams have been switched, guys. I can't move. There we go.
So this is 6.
This isn't bad. There's keyhole, so that's moving mouse.
For mouse.
Oh, so I have vertical movement on mouse, but all of my horizontal movement is slaved, and I have free turn, so that's me shooting ahead. To look over there. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Boy, the particle stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Sorry, easily distracted. Yeah, this is pretty good. Like, I wonder if there's a problem with like slip or something where you lose your point of access with this. This up and down with the mouse is a little bit weird, maybe.
But you can still look up and then aim.
Yeah, I can look independently. There's no horizontal keyhole really to speak of.
It's just locked in.
It's pretty dialed in.
With where the HUD is.
I kind of don't exactly get this one.
Okay, let's try 7.
This is the last one. Oops, sorry about that. That was my bad. Probably want to hit up 2. You know, the real challenge of this is doing this without having your mouth open. Okay. So I have nothing happening here. Like I'm moving my head. So this is just straight mouse. Oh my God, that's terrible. Ooh. Okay, so when you expect the movement, you talked about this a little bit earlier, Jeremy. When you're expecting movement and you don't get it, it's weird things happen in your head. Like I turn my head and I expect to turn.
7 looks like not a good mode to play in.
7.
It's basically turning off the.
Oh God. Okay, put it back on like 3 or 4, please.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you 4 because it sounded like 4 was one you liked the most. Why don't you change classes and play something like a scout where there's fast movement?
Well, let's do a gradual increase, man.
Do rocket jumping.
Yeah, hit comma.
Rocket jumping.
And give me like a sniper. Let's ease into this.
Is that number
8? How many hours do you? Oh,
you gotta kill yourself or change teams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you hit 8 again, please? I can't tell where it is on this keyboard. My train, it's going backwards.
The good thing about this rendering at 1280 by 800 is your frame rate's gonna be good. So we have anti-aliasing jacked all the way up.
Yes.
But they also recommend that you turn VSync off.
Norm, do you use the default sniper? Well, how many hours do you have in sniper?
Oh. So look down the scope.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. Oh, okay.
I'm afraid.
I'm trying to find someplace far away.
What if it only gives you your right eye? That would be interesting.
Oh my God.
You're talking like a game designer now.
I don't think I've ever played this map before.
All right, well, you want to zoom in?
I'm trying to find someplace that's far away. Takes a minute. And also, I have never played this map before, just for the record.
Well, this is. There we go.
Whoa! Okay, I got both eyes.
Huh.
Okay, so this is 4.
Oh my goodness!
That's not good.
What does that look like?
It means I'm looking at the side of the tube.
Okay.
This isn't like say playing a first-person shooter, like playing Call of Duty with shutter glasses on, though.
So when you're moving your mouse, you're actually moving the entire tube.
The entire site?
So my mouse controls everything. The viewpoint is independent of the mouse.
Oh, that is
and the
very
keyhole.
cool.
So the keyhole on the sniper zoom is real tight. So like, okay, so I'm gonna unzoom. The keyhole's pretty loose here, right? Like that's all mouse movement. Zoomed in, it stays in real tight.
Yeah. Because the idea is you're moving the gun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
It looks like there's no third-person taunts.
First-person taunts is default.
I think it's an option.
Yes.
But it's kind of fun to taunt in the first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about let's jump you to a different class.
Okay. Pyro maybe? That's pretty fast.
Yeah, the fire should look pretty good.
Oh, you still need to kill yourself. Swap you a different team.
Your obsession with me dying, I don't know how I feel about.
And let's watch those particle effects again. It's very cool just to see the gun from that first person move independently.
Does it look good?
Looks really good. Just the particles bouncing off the walls. This is. If this takes off, it's going to render a whole new generation of particle effects. It's going to be like 1998 all over again. People are going to go crazy.
So fire up in the air?
Fire looks pretty rad.
Wow.
Of course, the other thing that I immediately notice is that when it clips through the ceiling, it is super obvious.
Huh.
Like in a way that it probably isn't when you're 2D, just playing 2D. That's pretty good. Okay, so this is a lot faster.
So let's change you to...
Hold on. I'm going to go, let me acclimate a little bit here. Right. Just to be clear, the instructions say, when you start this, you're supposed to kind of ease into it over
10 minutes at a time. How long your VR legs.
Yeah, how long have we been going so far?
A little bit.
I don't feel like I'm going to hurl.
Calibration helped.
Yeah. I do feel like I'm having trouble keeping my mouth closed.
You played this before at, what was it, CES?
I played it.
I guess you haven't played TF2, but you've used the Oculus before.
So yeah, I played the Doom 3 demo at PAX Prime last year. And then I played Hawken for about 20 minutes or 15 minutes at GDC last week.
Okay.
This is a much better experience than Hawken was.
Really?
But Hawken was a Hawken felt like a tech demo, where this feels like a real game. I kind of want to go out and get let's do the Scout, and then I want to go out and get a server and play some real TF2.
Play Rocket Launcher or play Soldier. I'm gonna give you kill you.
Oh
first.
wow! So my menu is now slave to my.
Yep, just like the HUD. That's weird. Looking behind you.
Hey, look, there's my shoulder.
You can swivel in your chair 360 degrees.
I don't think I can because of all the wires I have attached to me right now.
I'm just saying you could.
In theory.
Right.
Scout me, Norm. This is going to be real bad. Joey, I hope there's a bucket.
Actually, you need to swap teams?
Yes, I do need to swap. I have a kind of sick feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Okay.
Let's
see what the double jump looks like from the first person.
This is going to be hard.
You don't say.
Yeah, good luck.
Have you played Scout yet? So what's your experience? You've had this for a weekend now and a little
3
bit?
days.
Jeremy?
Yeah, 3 days.
It's okay. Where's the door?
Yeah, so what has your experience been, Jeremy, playing this?
I have a hard time playing this. I found, first of all, it's hard to say because when you first step in here, you just want to look at things.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the game. You just want to, you're finally existing in this world that you spent countless hours watching on a two-dimensional screen. So you just want to sort of examine, but...
Oh my God, I never would have been able to make that on, I don't think.
I think something that people are going to find is that this isn't a way to improve your marksmanship in a first-person shooter.
Right.
You know, it's not a way to play the game any better. It's a way to immerse yourself in the world better.
So it's immersion.
It's all about immersion, yeah. It's not necessarily about being a better player, because
it's not a higher DPI mouse or a high-resolution monitor.
Right.
It is a different way of experiencing the game.
I think that this is a competitive advantage if you take the time to learn how to use it.
Really?
Yeah, I think
we
the
need
ability
to get a pro gamer in here, wear the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
See how he fares.
I think the ability to over shoulder look, and like there is a definite downside to this, right? The control stuff is a little bit weird and is going to take some getting used to figure out what the right way to do this is. But the ability to look over here and shoot there is huge. I mean, that's something you can't do in first-person shooters.
Yeah, it is something you can't do, but you can flick your mouse so fast between those two spaces that that's typically what you would do.
Right.
But you can do that too, though.
You would get that. Yeah, you can. You're right. You're right. I suppose if you can find a way to maximize that, I just feel that there's a certain amount of disorientation that I get running around in the game that I don't get with a mouse and keyboard.
Maybe it's something you get used to.
Let's try a different input mode. Hold on. Let me figure out what input mode I want. Put me on Soldier for a sec.
Okay.
Rocket jumping should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the best thing about playing Hawken, at least, was flying up above the city and looking down.
That's
so imagine doing a rocket jump and then looking down.
Actually, I'm going to do Demo Man because I think I'll have a better chance aiming.
You got it?
Well, I'll try Soldier first. I can kill myself with this. It works out.
Oh, you're Demo Man.
Wait, I'm a Demo Man. I believe I can fly. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Okay.
I mean, that's not as fast as moving
right
the
now.
Scout.
Oops.
Oh, there you go.
Chunks.
And that was weird because it took you out of the body. Your head wasn't lying on the ground.
Well, usually
with that depth cam.
Yeah, I guess you don't have the Robin Williams effect. This is I want to get out and play people. I feel like maybe we should just get on Twitter and get people to join this server.
All right. Well.
Let's see what I can. Oh, that is pretty good.
Are you looking around when you're in the air?
I'm not that. I don't have that much presence yet. Presence of mind. It's a pretty disorienting. I mean, not in a terrible way, but like I just Oh wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I ended up aiming the right way though, so I guess I'm doing something right. I'm getting there. It's like I feel like if you spent 40 hours with this, then you could do some magical stuff. Like you know how sometimes you feel when you see something new, there's a steep learning curve here. There's a low level of wonder and a steep being actually able to be better at this than with a normal mouse and keyboard and screen.
I'm curious to see if it ever becomes a competitive advantage.
I doubt they'll let people use this in competitive. Hey, somebody just joined.
All right, you have someone to engage. Do you feel like right now having just the 3 axes of movement, the head turning, that is enough?
Well, it's 6 axes because it's okay. So I can twist. I can go up and down.
You know what I found when you tilt your ear to your shoulder, they've done that in demos, and to us that looks really interesting because we've never seen that before in a video game.
But my perspective isn't really changing.
But to you, it's like that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Why wouldn't it do that?
It's like in a space simulator when you hit the roll button and you're rolling a plane. Now you can do it with your head.
Right. That was not what I meant to do. Just full disclosure. Yeah, I can see how this is going to be a thing.
Like so why don't you change to a rocket launcher and see if you can kill someone?
Okay.
We can't finish this without you getting at least one kill.
Let me.
There you go.
Chunky.
So right now, they're shipping out the developer kits. Only a couple hundred have been shipped out. I think they said they've sold about 40,000 so far through Kickstarter and their website.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They sold 7,000 through the Kickstarter and then another 33,000. That's crazy.
That's from one of their presentations. Wow. And there's a document online where we were tracking the shipment status, delivery status, and as of right now, I think only like 500 or 600 have been delivered or confirmed at least online. So you're playing as a soldier now.
Mm-hmm. I wish I didn't have a direct hit. Although it may be easier with this because 3D aim is probably not a bad thing. Did that other guy join? Oh,
yeah, it looks like you have someone to kill.
Is he on the train, or is he just lagging?
See if you can hit a stationary target.
I can hit a stationary target, come on. So the interesting thing about this is the cursor actually, one of the things we talked about when we saw the guys at GDC.
Oh, there you go. Rocket, oh, come on, Will. Oh, you got him.
Wow. Did I kill him, or did he kill himself? Oh, I killed him, yay!
You killed him. Yeah, maybe not so difficult.
Very impressed, Will.
Yeah, you did it on. That's
I think I'm strongly pro this. I wish it was higher resolution, which is.
Oh yeah.
Somebody says are you trying the glasses? Can you respond for me, Norm? My social secretary. Oh, he's on the train. He's on the train. He's on the train. Boom.
How does he know you have the Rift?
I'd say Norm tweeted.
No, it might be Evan.
Maybe Joey tweeted. He's coming out this way. That's tricky.
So, do you find that moving your body with the mouse, which also moves your orientation with the headset, do you find that to be disorienting? Wow. Do you have to get used to that?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I know some people who play first-person shooters who move their bodies. Like, they try to dodge stuff, and I can imagine them wanting to do that even more when wearing this.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that when playing race games. I mean, the leaning.
Right. There's a psychology to it.
I find when I move the mouse and I twist my body, that it's a jarring effect that because my vision is being moved, but I'm physically not moving my body, and it's sort of weird and unexpected.
I don't actually. That hasn't bothered me because I'm kind of used to, I'm moving the mouse right now. The one thing I would say is that I'm noticing that the panel is pretty low, a high latency panel rather.
Well, they've reduced that as much as they can.
Yeah.
And VR specialists have said that you really need under 20 milliseconds of total latency with control and refresh on the glasses for it to be indistinguishable from reality. There's also the panel the pixel refresh and the persistence of the pixels. And so you get something like judder and smearing. So if you're moving your head real fast, your eyes fast.
Did you see that air shot?
Did you get an air shot?
It's amazing, man.
You still got it.
I haven't played TF2 in 2 years.
You might be the world's greatest VR TF2 player.
Right now?
Yeah. No, right now. Not for long.
Yeah. For the next week and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
Hold on. Does the fact that we're playing this on Norm's account mean he's going to get the Oculus hat?
Oh, maybe.
No, it doesn't. I don't. You know it. He might get it.
Okay. I'm in.
All right. Let's back out and show some other demos.
Okay.
Oh my God! Take it off, Will. Take it off.
Take off the.
Oh, that's horrible.
That was a while. How long were you in there?
I don't know. What's the time? What's the time on the counter, Joey?
I think we're there just a little more than half an hour.
I don't.
That's a while.
Yeah. How are you acclimating to reality?
So there's a focus. Focusing is a little weird now.
Right.
I'm used to. I'm very clearly focusing on something that's right here.
Yeah.
And that even though it doesn't feel like that, it's weird. I probably shouldn't drive for a little bit. It feels like it's one of those situations. And my face is really sweaty. I feel like I probably have pretty good marks here,
It's all red.
here, and all through here.
Like ski goggles.
Yeah,
You've been skiing for a weekend.
It's
Except instead of being sunburned around the outside, you're red on the inside.
So we have the strap all the way out. I wish it actually got a little bit bigger. I have kind of a big melon, as I think you're part of the Big Head Club too, Jeremy. I could use more strap here and be pretty happy about that.
But it should be relatively tight because you don't want the glasses to be moving.
You don't want to be tight like a ski goggle, though. You want it to be comfortable.
Yeah, they say you want it to kind of move and breathe. Like there's enough room that I can see around the edges of my nose and stuff like that, which isn't distracting at all.
Yeah.
It's not a bad experience. I feel like I could go more without, chundering.
Yeah, well, you clearly have some innate ability.
Aptitude.
Aptitude.
Yeah.
Finally, so I'm good for something.
As a developer, you're developing in Unity, and right now the SDK or the Unity SDK works with the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, they're releasing the Unreal SDK, but not until later this month.
And what are your experiences with that so far? Is it relatively easy? Or?
It's super easy. Yeah, it's so easy.
Unity itself?
No. Unity. Yeah, Unity is a really accessible game engine to develop in, especially as far as being a 3D engine. But all that you have to do, you can literally make a plane to walk on, and then drag and drop one thing, which is a prefab. It's an Oculus character controller, into your scene, and then hit play, and that's it. And suddenly you're walking around your plane with the Oculus Rift on in 3D and
in the world you're creating, and then you can create assets and drop in things.
So Oculus just provided that those assets for you and make it super easy. You can make any world that you want, and then all you have to do is drag this character controller in there, and it has 2 cameras, one for each eye, and all the orientation is locked down for the mouse for what it should be, and turned on for the Oculus, sensors where it should be, and it's really incredibly easy. I was really impressed.
So if you want to noodle around, it is a thing that is easy to do.
Yeah, one thing that was announced recently was that they do require a pro license.
Okay.
And so that's a $1,500 investment.
Ooh.
But compared to if you go pro and you start making a lot of money with Unreal, it makes more sense to do it with Unity. But
well, in Unity, it's easy to publish games, not just on Oculus. You can also release them on iOS and Android.
Yeah, sort of save
as
whatever you want. But they also have announced that there'll be a 4-month free trial for Oculus developers.
Oh, that's good. So if you just want to try it out, then you're in for $300 and.
No, you're in for nothing.
Well,
for the Oculus,
but
exactly.
That's good.
And that's a great way to try it out. I mean, just hop in there and follow some Unity tutorials on YouTube and just get started.
So then, this is one of the Unity. This is one of the demos that ships with the.
This is not
Oculus.
Unity. This is actually a 200K file in its entirety, and this is made in presumably C++ or something by the Oculus team using the raw Windows SDK.
Just so people have an idea, like you've built some games before. We have seen your work on such projects as Core and.
That's about it.
Okay,
Core.
PC Gamer CD. But so, what's your level of programming expertise? Well, what?
I am not a programmer.
Okay.
I did a lot of scripting for Core, and that's thankfully primarily what you're doing in Unity too. Okay. It's really a scripter's engine. It's more or less you can access any function through their version of JavaScript, and so there's certainly some programming, but they simplify so much. If you want to look at something, you don't have to do the trigonometry. You can just type "look at" and then provide the game object that you want to focus the camera on. So it's definitely accessible. But I wouldn't consider myself a programmer because I have too much respect for the real ones.
And when you're making a game or conceptualizing a game, are there things that you're noticing that the Oculus Rift lends itself to that you couldn't do with other games? Or things that you thought would be fun, but maybe not so much?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really impressed to see Will's experience with TF2. That gives me a lot of hope for first-person shooters. But my impression was that it's a detriment to the skill of playing an FPS, having played them for
a skill-based FPS.
A skill-based FPS. I still feel that you're at your best if you're just on a monitor with mouse and keyboard, because that's the interface it was designed for. I could see the Oculus creating entire new markets for just exploration games. I could see a resurgence of adventure games where much slower paced, walking around and finding objects or traveling. I could see, even the realty,
like educational stuff.
Educational stuff. I mean, any place that you want to travel or do any kind of, experience of visiting a place without actually having to go there. It really delivers the the impact of actually being transported.
I know we feel like we've beaten this into the ground at this point, but the effect of full field of view immersion is difficult to discount, and it has problems. I mean, when those control schemes were going wrong, they go wrong in a really, really terrible way.
Yeah.
And I think my hunch is that probably different people will be sensitive to that at different levels. And probably it's one of those things like motion sickness that once it starts going, it's not going to get better unless you stop and go do something else and look at the mountains or something and find the horizon.
And as guys who are, we follow hardware trends, it's easy to look forward and see how this could be improved. And this being a Gen 1, pre-Gen 1, how, 2 years down the line, it's not just going to be this, it's going to be much more advanced. Right.
I think right now this is not for everybody. It's really low res. It's got a lot of problems. But yeah, if you start to look down the line, a couple of years, even a year from now, I think this is the beginning. This is a new medium. It's not just a way to enhance the games that we're playing already. This is something brand new. This is immersion, and you have to design things that actually take advantage of this as opposed to a two-dimensional screen.
It's not like you can take Skyrim and just run a filter on it and jam it out.
I think you can, and people will do that. But I think it's really going to shine are projects that are made, for it, because it's once you take away the ability to see anything else in the world, you're actually transported into that space. Once you move through the space, you want to go at a different speed. You want to interact in different ways. Being able to look everywhere adds all new type of gameplay possibilities.
Well, hopefully it's not just a fad, like motion control. It's
Wave 2?
I don't know. Maybe I've read too many sci-fi novels, but I believe this is the tip of something massive. I could see people who aren't into computer games at all, maybe a couple years from now, maybe it takes longer, maybe it's 5 years from now. But this is going to be a way for them to achieve relaxation, to just get away from the world. Well, I can see people getting addicted to this.
Surrogates.
The thing is, you can look at what they built so far and extrapolate to technology that's available today. The higher density, we see 1080p phones on 1080p screens on 5-inch phones. This is a 7 or 8-inch screen. There's no reason that the pixel density can't go up, especially as they start to scale more and more.
Different types of LCDs, OLEDs, type of screen panel technology.
The pixel density is what hurts this the most.
The pixel density is
well,
but I think the response. I think the pixel response is actually worse than the pixel density.
That doesn't
depending
bother
on the application.
The blurriness factor, that doesn't bother me so much as that screen door effect.
The juddering is the pixel blur. Well, I'm not going to get it here because I'm in a menu. When I was moving fast, I think that's the thing that was bad about the Scout. You're moving so fast that it was like running down a tunnel and you were on some sort of, you need mushrooms or something, and everything's blurring out behind you and the colors are running, and it was a little gnarly.
Yeah, that's hardly even worth talking about. All these problems are going to solve in the next generation.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is it's a little bit heavier than the demo that we had that I had at PAX, the original one with the ski goggle band. It looked like something a dude had made in his garage because a dude had made it in his garage.
Because I have the Sony HMZ T1.
Those things are
and that's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever worn.
Yeah.
This, by comparison, was remarkably better.
Dramatically better.
Because it's the third strap and the full band.
I actually bought a third strap from the HMZ. It doesn't do any good. But this is much lighter, and it's just much more comfortable.
I was going to say you don't notice it after 10 minutes. I noticed it because it's pressing on my face, and I have glasses on. It's a little. That stuff is a little bit uncomfortable. I think I would definitely, if I was going to be playing frequently, I would bust out the contacts more often.
Right.
And those guys are projecting forward with lighter glasses. They want to target somewhere around 200 grams. Maybe in the future put stereoscopic cameras on the front for augmented reality, so you can see what the camera's seeing. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, Will, you've mentioned wanting to hook it up to a GoPro. And do some fun
remote control, helicopters, airplanes, mechs, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jeremy. We'll have to have you come back when we get our Oculus Rift and we can have some TF2 death matching or something.
You can kick my butt while I'm just looking around.
All right, well, that will do it for us for today. Will's going to continue playing TF2. We'll have more Oculus Rift VR coverage on tested.com. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.